everyone. So welcome to the February edition of the Ask Me Live LinkedIn Live series. So today I'm going to be a bit slower than I usually am. I know I can be a bit fast and furious, and today I want to kind of network with you all as well and look at the comments, because in the past I've been frantic trying to get through questions in the event page and then questions on the feed. So bear with me, I'm going to go at a more relaxed pace because I actually want to see who's on it and not have to, take ages afterwards to respond to all your comments. I'd really like to say hi to you when you're joining. So I'm going to click on the comments and see if anybody's here. I'm not sure if anybody is. I can't see any comments yet. I'm just going to quickly look at the tech. No, I can't see. Hopefully somebody is watching this live, and hopefully this is live. I can see it on my screen that is, but you never know with the joys of tech. So bear with me a sec. I'm going to actually bring up my LinkedIn as well on my app and just make sure that I am live. Yes, I'm live. Okay, I just wanted to check. So yeah, hi, I can see some comments coming through. Hi, Yvonne. Hi, Shira. Thank you, because you never know with tech how long the comments are going to take to come through. Thanks. Hi, Adam. Hello, LinkedIn user. Thank you for coming through. So I know a few of you have already put questions into the event page, and I will get to them. And if anybody else has questions, don't be shy. Put them in the comments. I can see you all coming in now. That's great. So I'm just going to stick up this on the screen. It'd be great to know where you're joining me from today, or joining us from today. It's always good to see who joins around the world. And if you're joining on replay, just put in hashtag replay. It's good for me to know the reach of a LinkedIn Live after the actual event itself, because you never know whether the reach is going to be a day, 2 days. And with the algorithm of late, there seems to be more traction on content. I put out posts which would have usually disappeared within 2 or 3 days, but I'm still getting comments on some like 7 days later. So it's always good to know who's watching the replay and how far it's kind of trickled. So yes, please put that in. And LinkedIn Lives, they are a great place to learn or to chat about a certain topic, but they're also a great place to network. And you might think, why do I create the event page for the live or for anything? Well, the reason I do that is because if you go back to the event page, you can click and you can see all the attendees. So at a glance who went to the event, and you may not realize, but you're actually able to message all of those attendees irrespective of whether you're a first, second or third degree connection. So back in the day when I attended a lot of face-to-face events, I would always want to kind of connect with like minds, because I think, well, we've gone to the same thing, we've got something in common. And that's how I've built up a lot of my network through events and conferences. So I would always say, have a look back in the event page after and look through the attendees, because you never know, there could be somebody there who can help you in your career or your business. It could be your ideal client, your target audience. Maybe you're looking for a job and there's a recruiter who's attended the live, or a HR director. So always have a look. And likewise in the comments, if you see somebody of interest, don't be shy to reach out and connect with them, because that's what LinkedIn is all about. So I'm seeing loads of comments now. So I'm going to, as I said, try and be a bit more relaxed. And I'm just seeing where people are coming in from. Great. Okay, Ireland, always nice to see Ireland. Torquay down the road, that's great. Teddington, Southwest London, Colchester, Dorset, London, another Ireland. Singapore, I like when it gets further reach. Surrey, Chudley, London, Newcastle. Great, so it's great to see you coming from all over the place. That's brilliant. I can see Dubai as well. That's great. So I'm going to just start off with just one. There was a few questions stuck in the event page, and then I will come and I'll highlight some on the screen. Okay, so there's one, and I'm going to go slightly off tangent, but I wanted to go off tangent in case anybody's in the same position as Gary. So Gary put in the event page that he hears individuals are applying for jobs that are that they're well overqualified for. So he said, for example, somebody is applying for a job that is 2 or 4 levels below their previous job. Is this at least one of the reasons the job market is difficult? I just think it's a hard time, isn't it, with the pandemic? So many people are losing their jobs. So many companies are having to, make staff redundant or just streamline their activities. So my advice to Gary or anyone is, and you might take this with a pinch of salt, but if I was a job seeker, what I would do is the following. Number one, if I was unsure about the direction I wanted to take, or I wasn't 100% convinced of my next role, I would go and chat to a career coach. Okay, so that's number one. So I'd clarify what I don't want and what I do want. Okay, because you need to know that. You need to be specific. I get a lot of job seekers coming to me saying, I need help. And I say, what industry do you want? What kind of job? Oh, I don't know. I'm open. And it's like, oh, that makes it really hard, because you need to be specific, really, in terms of your CV or your LinkedIn profile. You need to be talking to your specific target audience. So that's what I would do. Number one, I would chat to a career coach if I needed guidance, or even just to open up the opportunities, because we often think, I've got this set of skills and I've kind of been doing this in this industry and this is where I'm stuck. Whereas those transferable skills may take you to a lot of other industries that you wouldn't be aware of. So that's what I would do. I would have a chat with a career coach. And I know a lot of great career coaches if anybody needs help and wants an introduction. Number two, I'd look at my CV. I would get my CV either overhauled from scratch from a CV company, because that is their specialty, or you can get a CV audit done of your existing CV. Anybody needs help, on the resources page of my website, I actually list a company that helps do that. And I actually had my CV audited with them. I can't remember how many years ago, but they did a really good job. So that's why I'm promoting them. And you get a 10% discount from knowing me. So if you need anything like that, that's what I would do, because there is competition and you need to stand out. And then next step 3, LinkedIn. So your LinkedIn has to kind of marry with that CV. So I would go to a professional LinkedIn person who can help you. And I'm not saying it has to be me, but that's what I would do. And years ago, I had my LinkedIn overhauled before I set up a business. And if I'm honest, the person who overhauled it, they were a journalist, so they made it read nice, but it didn't have keywords. And it was actually one of those moments where I said, I could do this better, because I've studied social media. So you need to be mindful of that. And then within LinkedIn, once you've got your LinkedIn up and done, I would get a professional photographer. If you don't have a photographer, I would get the professional headshot, because it's all about branding, those first impressions, and also about keywords. Okay, so that you show up in search. And if you're good at graphics, I would create your own cover banner. If you're not, I would outsource. I get a graphic designer, or a virtual assistant that's great at Canva. So that's what I would do. Those 5 things. Okay, because I think otherwise you can spend time on Google, and if you're always doing what you always did and you're not getting results, it's not working. So you need to bring in a professional. So that's what I would do. I would give myself as much advice, bespoke advice to you, and that kind of edge of competition over other people who won't invest in the career coach, in the CV, in the LinkedIn, in the branding, in the professional headshot, because they're the kind of things that will make you stand out. And when people see that you're invested in your brand, then it starts to build that know, like, and trust, and you'll have a far better chance of standing out. So I know I went off in a tangent, but that's what I would do if I was a job seeker. But to be honest, I would do that anytime, irrespective of the pandemic. And there's certain other things that you would do to take it up a notch now, but that would be a bare minimum for me. And I think a lot of people complain that things don't work for them, or LinkedIn doesn't work for them, or they're not getting interviews or whatever, but they haven't invested in the solid foundation, and you have to do that. And another thing I'd probably do would be get an interview coach, because all of that might be great and might line up the actual interview for you, and then you might fall flat then. So you might need to get an interview coach or a video specialist, because it's all online now. It's all virtual, isn't it? So I would give yourself that advantage. And I know you might say, oh, I don't have the money, I'm made redundant. Sometimes and you're never going to feel perfectly ready to do everything. You will never feel ready in life. You'll never feel ready to have kids. You'll never feel ready to do a video like this. You'll just never be ready. So you just have to kind of go for it, just take the bull by the horns. And if you're really stuck for money, ask yourself, is it worth investing in yourself? If you've got a credit card that has 0% interest, why not take the gamble on yourself? In the past, I've had, business loans when I started up, because you need to invest in yourself to kind of get to that next stage. So I know I've gone slightly off on a tangent, but that's what I would do if I was a job seeker. I would do all of that. Okay. So I'm going to quickly look down. So that was Gary's question. And I know there was a few others popping up. So bear with me a sec. Okay. So I'm going to bring this up on the screen, and I'm really bad at pronouncing your name. Okay, so I don't know what it's pronounced. Shezin. Bear with me. So she said, "Hi Jennifer, question for me, please. When LinkedIn says views, is that just people seeing it on a feed or people engaging with the post? What's a good measure of engagement?" It's people clicking on it so that they've actually viewed it for a second or so. Okay, so a good measure of engagement is tricky because I'm not somebody that is all about the home feed and standing out, because I do think you can get engagement in Messenger and in groups as well. A good message of engagement, good measure, it really is views more than likes. If you see at least a post has got 1,000 views, you know it's interested 1,000 people. For some reason, they haven't clicked like or commented, but I wouldn't take that personally, because a lot of people lurk on LinkedIn. It's around 90% of 725 million people on LinkedIn lurk, so they don't really engage at all and they look from the sidelines. So there are a lot of people who are a bit shy to click like or to comment. So just because somebody hasn't liked or commented on your post doesn't mean they haven't consumed it and thought about it. Because I had one client reach out to me and who said, you know, I've been watching you for 3 years. I had met them in real life. And then they said, we'd love you to come in and work with us. And I was like, wow, you never liked or engaged in any of my posts from my recollection. So people are watching. So views are good, you know. I'd be more impressed with 1,000 views than a post that has 10 likes and 20 views. It hasn't had the reach. So you want more eyeballs. Obviously, it's great if people comment, because it just helps to spread that post on your home feed and trickle through your first, second, and third degree connections and get wider reach. But the real measure of engagement on LinkedIn is messages in your inbox. It's not really about the home feed. It is a message saying, I saw your post and I'd love to work with you. Or, you know, that's what it's all about, really. It's not just about vanity metrics, likes and comments, okay? Because they're nice. But if people aren't reaching out to you, either finding you in search or interested in what they read from your profile, and your profile's content as well, okay? That's the first place anybody will look at, is your profile. And if you post any kind of content on the home feed or in a group, or you send a message, it's all going to come back to your profile. And if people don't like that content, they're going to move on. So I know I'm going slightly around the houses, but yeah, I would say good measure of engagement on LinkedIn is people messaging you in your inbox. And if you're not getting people messaging you and reaching out, wanting to connect with you, your profile's not working for you and your content's not working. Okay, so that's what I would say. There was another question. I'm just going to go back here because I don't want to miss the people who stuck it in the event page. So Rachel Push, in relation to articles, is it better to share articles by directly posting in the article section of LinkedIn, or first posting on my website and then sharing the link in my LinkedIn feed? I would say the good thing about LinkedIn is if you have got a blog or an article, you can put it on both LinkedIn and your website, and it can be pretty much duplicate content, and that's fine because Google ranks LinkedIn really highly. But when you come to LinkedIn, I would do it as a LinkedIn article, okay? Because LinkedIn, like Facebook, any of the platforms, when you share an external link to a website or to YouTube or whatever, they don't want people to move off the platform. They want you to stay on LinkedIn, okay? So when you share that external link with the algorithm, it will never reach as many eyeballs. So I would do it as a LinkedIn article and also put it on your website. But at the bottom of your LinkedIn article, do a little bio and say who you are. And then at the end of the bio, say, this article first appeared on my website, XYZ, and link to it. And that way Google knows there's a link and people can go and check out your website from the LinkedIn article. So I would put it on both places, but I would share it as an article on LinkedIn and not share the link to your website. And you could also repurpose that LinkedIn article. So if people missed it because of timing, or they just don't want to read an article because that's kind of the way it is at the moment. We all want to consume really snackable content, really quick sound bites. We often don't have the time to dig in for 5 minutes to read an article. What you can do is you can take snippets of that article, so a sentence, a quote, a paragraph, anything, stats, something interesting for impact, and you can post them on different days, and then at the end do the link back to the article. So there's ways of like repurposing that article again and again. You can create graphics if you want for quotes. You could even create a little PDF with a few tips from the article, and then at the end you say, if you want to read the full article, click here. So I know writing an article might feel like it's a bit of a long job for you to do and they don't get much traction. So I would say just repurpose it as much as you can. And articles, just because an article is a year old doesn't mean it's not still useful. So by all means, even repurpose old ones. Sometimes I read great blogs and they're 3 years old, but they're still relevant. So don't think just because you've done that article that it's done. It's not. You can direct people back to it and you can update it. That's the great thing about articles on LinkedIn. You can go in and edit, and you can add in replay. So for example, I did an article at the start of the year. If you look on my profile, you'll see it was a roundup for LinkedIn on 2020, all the changes that happened. And then I made a little video prediction for 2021. And my prediction was my prediction was more a wish. It was like, please, can we have LinkedIn Live in event pages and groups? Because I really think it will revolutionize the way people engage in events and groups on LinkedIn. But at the end of that article, I also mentioned events that were coming up, like my January Ask Me Anything LinkedIn Live and a few others. But I've gone in recently and I've clicked in the replays because I don't know when somebody's going to read that article. They might read it in 6 months. So I've added on the replays. So you can definitely repurpose an article. So I've gone on a long time about articles, but articles are definitely great for establishing you as a thought leader. So they're worth putting in the time. Even if you just have one article attached to your profile, people are nosy. They will check it out to see what you've got to say. So I'm going to just take a quick sip of water because I'm gabbing too much. Okay, I'm scrolling down to see if I can see anyone here. It's great to see other countries as well. That's nice. Esther's saying she recommends Becky Kills Me as a career coach. Becky's in Devon, if anyone's in Devon. And there are loads, so definitely check it out. Nice to see people linked, connecting on the home feed. And okay, let's have a look. I've got a few questions here. Let's do this one, Alan. Okay, how much detail about past jobs should be put on LinkedIn? Should it be a full CV, just a couple of bullet points, or just the job title, work company? That's a great question, okay? So your CV and your LinkedIn are different. You might think your LinkedIn is a complete duplication of your CV. It's not. You don't need to go into as much detail on your LinkedIn profile. Obviously, the areas that you would put the maximum effort in is your current role, okay? And this also applies to business owners listening in. Your current role, you need to put as much effort and attention into that as you do to your about summary section and just really maximize it. So put the most effort in there. And then previous roles, bullet points are fine. So you can have 3 bullet points of achievements, results, stats. It doesn't have to be the full job spec because people are going to really judge you on the current one. And the main way, why would you have a LinkedIn and a CV? Well, a LinkedIn, you can show your personality more and you can attach media. So you can attach a video of yourself. And I would urge anyone to, whether you're a business owner or a job seeker, create a 60-second video of yourself to camera, just saying who you are, and why you're on LinkedIn, what are your goals. So if you're a job seeker, you'd make one just saying, hi, I'm Jennifer. I'm a LinkedIn trainer. I'm looking to connect with companies in XYZ. I've got experience of ABC. My passions are, or my values are. And if I sound like the right fit for your company, I'd love to have a chat with you. Please reach out and connect. Something like that, short and sweet, so that when you are connecting with recruiters and HR directors, that they will see that video underneath your summary about section and they will click on it and they will make a decision which will be yes or no, and both of these are good. So yes, Jennifer is the right team fit, she looks good, let's have a chat. Tick, brilliant. Okay, no, Jennifer doesn't seem like the right fit. Tick, good. I tell you why, because you save all that time wasting, all those emails, preparing for the interview, the video interview, the Zoom, the Skype, whatever it is, and then nope, you're not the team fit. Okay, so you've put all that effort in for nothing. Okay, so it's good either way, because in my experience, it usually boils down to team fit. I remember, I think my last role, it took me 8 interviews. I kept being told I was the second. I was almost there. But a lot of it was down to team fit. Okay, so let people see what you're like, get a feel for you. And it doesn't have to be a super polished video either. Okay, you can do it at home. You can do it with a neutral background. Just make sure you've got good lighting, good angles. I'm going to take this off because I'm kind of cut off my chin. So good angles. Have your laptop or your PC to the right level. Be looking into the camera. Smile. It's all smiles, smile and eyes at the same time. Okay. And yes, it is hard. Video is not my friend. Okay, I've kind of had to get over myself as a business owner to put myself out there. And again, if I was a job seeker, would I make a video? Absolutely, because I would want to stand out. And most people are blocked or lurking. So if you do take the bulls by the horn, and if you are brave and you make that video, you will have the edge over other people who are not making that video. Okay, so you will stand out instantly. So I would urge you all to do this, whether you are a job seeker or a business owner. Attach a video, because we're all curious / nosy as humans, and we will check you out. And it's a warm introduction to you, really. When people click on it, they know what you're about. And like I said, if you're a business owner, you can do the same thing. So people have a rough idea of whether you're a good connection for them or not. And if you're not, that's fine. But yeah, it doesn't have to be the exact same content as your CV. Just concentrate on the current role. The rest can be bullet points, but make that current role as enticing as possible by adding that media underneath. So it could be, like I said, a video. It could be a link to maybe an article you've done. It could be maybe a PowerPoint presentation you've created. That's another way to stand out as a job seeker. If you're skilled, maybe on PowerPoint or Canva, if you're good at presentations, or if you are quite visual and you're not really a fan of a CV, if you can present your skills in a presentation, whether it's animated or whatever, that's a great way to stand out as well. So you can attach a lot of documents underneath your summary section that will make you pop. And that's the difference really of the LinkedIn and the CV. Your personal brand will come through a lot more on your profile, you as a human being, whereas your CV is more of a tick, 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 kind of get it all in there. But as I said, it usually boils down to right fit. So definitely having that video will give you the edge. So I'm going to see, okay, it's another one from Shezwin. I can't pronounce your name, but forgive me. Are articles different to posts? Yes, they are. Okay, so articles are long form content. And when you go into your home feed and you're about to start a new post, you'll see below the option to do an article. And that takes you into a separate blogging platform in the back of LinkedIn. So it looks like if any of you have your own website, or if you've ever created your own blog, you're brought back in and then you're prompted to put in a cover banner image, a headline, and then the content of the blog. So it's completely different, okay? And an article is permanently attached to your profile, whereas posts will disappear off the home feed unless they go viral or unless you feature them and then they're attached to your summary, okay? So articles are long form, they're thousands of words as opposed to hundreds of words, okay? So they are different. So I'm going to click off that. I'm going to see any more. Bear with me a sec. I'm just scrolling. Okay, yeah, Belinda, is it worth reposting your post? Would people be bored of seeing me? Yes, it is. And I used to think like that. And I thought, oh God, I don't want to bore people by being repetitive again and again. But you have to remember, people are on LinkedIn at different times. So you posted something last week, but not everybody saw that with the algorithm, depending on the engagement as well. So why not post it again or post it in a slightly different way? Every time you do it, you'll attract different eyeballs. And also, even if it's the same person seeing that message again and again, that's great for the know, like, and trust, because you're being consistent and it's a consistent message and people go, okay, me, LinkedIn, that's what she does. So I used to feel like that. I don't want to be boring people doing it again and again. But then you realize with the algorithm, not everybody sees it. So yeah, definitely repost your posts. Especially if you've got a company page, a LinkedIn company page, you can do them, even if it's on a monthly basis, you can do it again and again, why not? And if it's something important to you as an individual. If you've posted on your personal home feed, why not do it again? So I'm just going to do a blatant kind of a plug out, shout out, and I'm going to put this up for a sec. So it's related to that question. Okay, I'm not going off on a tangent, but next week I am hosting a free 5-day challenge on LinkedIn, and it's called the LinkedIn Profile Visibility Challenge. Now, all of this week I've been posting about it every day, okay, because I want people to know about it. It's free. I want to help people to build a great first impression on LinkedIn. Whether they're, looking for a new job or to find new clients or create opportunities, whatever, I want to help people have the tools, really. So I've been consistently posting about that, different graphics, but the same message. And again, next week, all through the challenge, I'll be posting about it all the time. I'm doing it because I think it's something of value. I'm doing it for free to help people and to give back. Last year, I did a summit, which was a half a day. This year, I'm going to try out the 5 days and see what it's like, because one thing I've learned over the last year is accountability is great. And if you can break things down into little tiny chunks, people are more inclined to take action. Whereas if it's a longer thing, people might procrastinate. And my view is any training, it's great. Knowledge is power, but if you don't take action, you've wasted your time. Okay. So if you ever listen to an expert or a webinar and you're like, oh, that's great, I have to do that, and you don't, you have wasted your time. So it's all about action taken. So I'm hoping that people who join my challenge next week will take action. And just to give a quick shout out to the challenge, basically every day at 12 o'clock in my group, I'm going to share a little training, 10 minutes, that's it. And I'm going to be live in the group for a half an hour to give my feedback on people who engage first. And then after that, I'm not going to be there because obviously we're fitting it in around work. But the great thing about a group challenge is you're all there to help each other. So to make the most of the group challenge, I would urge people to help maybe 5 people a day that you see post up. And then those 5 people will help you. So what a great opportunity to get members of the public to give their feedback on your photo, your headline, your banner, whatever I'm asking you to do. How amazing will that be? So obviously, like any challenge, the more you put in, the more you will get out. And every day, I'll go live at 12 o'clock till 12:30. And the last day on the Friday, I'll do a masterclass, which will be a bit longer, just to wrap it all up and tie it all up. So blatant shout out to that. So join that next week if you haven't already. I think nearly 500 people have already signed up, and I'm hoping it's going to be great. It's a perfect challenge if you want to raise your visibility, or you feel blocked, or you're not quite sure how to present yourself in your profile. That's what it's all about. It's great if you are into groups and giving back in community. So if you're not into community or giving back, please don't come. Okay. I only want givers to do the challenge, and we need people to be kind as well when we're giving feedback, because behind all these profiles is a human being. So I don't want people to be brutal with their feedback. I want them to be kind and supportive. So if that sounds good, please join it. I can stick the link up, or you can find in general any of these events, like my monthly LinkedIn lives or my challenge. They're all on my company page called My Super Connector. So you can go, even if you want to sign up for every monthly Ask Me Anything, sign up for them all now, and then you'll get reminders each month. And I do these because I'm constantly getting messages in my inbox going, oh, I've got a cheeky little question. And when you've got over 9,000 connections, I cannot answer every question because I'd be there all day and I have to do my job and make some money. And if I never get around to answering your questions, one of my services is a strategy session. So I offer these on Zoom, and they're either 30 minutes, 60 minutes, or 90 minutes, and they're recorded, and they're all about you. Okay. So if anyone's ever left hanging and you want help, just reach out and, send me an email, and I'll tell you how I can work with you one-to-one. So I'm just going to see. Okay. When is it best? Okay. When is it best to answer comments? As soon as you can. I mean, obviously we can't be on LinkedIn 24/7. So after this LinkedIn live, I will hope to get through all the comments if I can within an hour or two. But I've got another talk coming up at 3 o'clock, so I'll have to prep for that as well. But yeah, generally, as soon as you can is better. I would always respond to every comment, even if a comment is a bit spammy looking. I'd still say thanks for your feedback or whatever. Yeah, I think because it's all about engagement, okay? Because people have taken the time to, like you have all today, and I really appreciate you all showing up. It's amazing. one last question, okay? Because I'm nearly at the half, and I said I would do it. If you do a video as part of a post, what's a good length? Or that works, but okay. I think the shorter the better. A minute. I'm not a video expert. I know Adam Woods is on this, and I did recently do a LinkedIn Live with Adam about video. So check that out. There will be a replay. If you look at my LinkedIn company page, my Super Connector, the replay should be up there, Shezwin, and all of my stuff, I always share replays and everything in my group as well. So there's many. If you ever miss one of these, don't worry, because I'll tell you, the replay, I repurpose it. So the replay you'll see on my home feed anyway, the personal home feed. I'll also stick it on my company page for my Super Connector. I'll also stick it in my LinkedIn group, which is called Networking Tips with my Super Connector. I'll also stick it on my profile. If you go down to my current role, I've got a whole section called the Coffee Chinwag, and it's all my videos. You'll also see it in there. So you don't worry. And I also stick it on my YouTube. So I'm all about the repurposing and rebatching, okay? So you'll never miss one. So I'm going to have to cut it there, because otherwise I'm going to go on and on and on and on. And I said to myself today, I'm going to wrap it up at 30 minutes, and I've done well at 31. So thanks for listening, guys. The next one is going to be the first Wednesday of March. They're always the first Wednesday of the month from 11 to half 11. And like I said, you can always get the replay. You can ask questions in the event page itself if you're not going to turn up on the day, or put it on the home feed. I know some people, obviously, if they're job seekers, it's sensitive. They don't want to go on the home feed. So stick it in the event page, and I will try to get to as many as I can. So I hope to see some of you or all of you on the challenge next week. And please spread the word, because I think it's going to be a really great challenge. I think it's going to help a lot of people, and you will have a tangible result by the end. You'll have created a great first impression with your profile. Okay, so wishing you all a great day, guys. Have a good one, and I will respond to your comments as quickly as I can. Okay, thanks, Liga. Bye.